Coming up next, it's live with Regis and Kathie Lee. Today, one of the most popular actresses of film and TV, Farrah Fawcett, tells about the new man of the house. Guess who he is? And Claudia Cohen meets up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Keenan Ivory Wayans, and other stars at the opening of Disney's new Indiana Jones adventure ride. And this zany character who you loved in A Fish Called Wanda, John Cleese, will give you his philosophy on what really matters in life. All next on Live. Now here are Regis Philbin and Kathie Lee Gifford.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Tuesday, February 28th, 1995. Cold and rainy outside. Yeah. What a nice way to air it is right there.
February is not going out quietly, is it, Reed?
Foggy and just a yucky day.
Yucky.
But this is the end of February. Yeah. March begins tomorrow. 2 more weeks, spring. Dynamite.
3 more weeks, Cody's birthday.
I knew somehow we'd get it back to Cody.
Thank you for coming by last night.
Yes, it was a lovely party.
Frank gave a party for his friend Peter Dimitri last night at the Fortunoff building on the penthouse. It was just a lot of fun. How about Ole Cassini there, huh? Ole looking strong down there.
Ole Cassini is a man, a gentleman in his 70s. That's no secret. We were talking about golf and tennis, you know, the usual stuff guys talk about. And Ole Cassini, you know, says, he didn't say it, but Frank said that he could beat Frank at golf. That's Ole Cassini could beat Frank, who's a pretty good golfer. So I said, well, tennis is my game, Ole. I'd like to kick your butt in tennis. Well, he said, tennis I happen to be very good at.
Yes.
So there's a problem with this guy, whatever you do with Ole Cassini.
And you know what else he does? He races.
Harness racing,
yes,
sure. Yeah, that was
racing.
in the magazines. Yeah, absolutely.
You're looking dapper today. Is that a Dimitri?
No, it's a Beau Brummel.
It is.
No, it's a René Lazard. Little something different. Yeah, it was a lovely party. Eclectic group. Danny Shine was there.
Who's Danny Shine?
Well, it was your party.
Oh.
Danny,
no, but most of the guests were invited by Pierre.
Dimitri, yeah, sure. No, Danny Shine's an old friend of mine from Los Angeles, and he and Gelman and I go to lunch. In fact, Danny would like to have lunch today with us. And so maybe we'll see Danny later on.
I'm sure you guys don't have plans, so maybe you can work that out.
But I'll tell you, the hit of the party, as far as I was concerned, this was my first introduction to Frank's new secretary.
She's a lovely, lovely young lady.
I'll go along with that. Lovely young lady. Yeah. You know, I'm just curious.
Don't ask.
No, really. No, does Frank run the secretary past you first?
Yeah, he makes her run laps.
You know what I mean. Do you introduce her before he hires her?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. And you still said okay, huh?
Yeah, I like her a lot. She's very sweet.
I like her a lot, too. Who wouldn't like Frank's secretary?
Great.
So everything's okay, huh?
I don't know. Have you heard something? I don't know. I think it's
sometimes,
okay.
Hey, when you're as experienced as I am, sometimes you size up a situation, and you know.
You know what?
No, she's a lovely, lovely young lady. Let's just drop it, okay? Stop.
I didn't bring it up. She's been his assistant now, but his longtime assistant, Pat Connell, got married and is living up in Baja, Maine.
I know, and so this is a new young lady, and I didn't realize how young she was, that's all.
How young? She's not 16, Reg.
No, she's not 16. She's probably in her early 20s. Hey, lady, watch your mouth. You know what I mean? Now, I'm just trying to have a little fun.
You sure are.
Make a little trouble.
Joy looked very hot last night.
Yeah,
very hot.
Joy's a hot number. Last night we went out to dinner after the party. We went up to Rayo's.
Yes.
Now, Rayo's is sort of a mysterious place up there.
It's legendary, though.
East Harlem, I guess you identify it. It used to be an old mob hangout, you know. Dutch Schultz ran his operation out of there. It's got a lot of legends to it. And every Monday night, Sonny Grasso, who was the cop, who was the real New York cop in the French Connection, along with Eddie Egan, when they broke the case. Sonny is now a prolific television producer, doing all kinds of things. And every Monday night, he has a table up there for himself and his friends. So we were there last night. And Joy sat between Sonny, who's quite a heroic storytelling kind of guy, you know, a lot of charisma.
He's kind of bigger than life.
And on the other side of Joy was the smoldering Armand Assante.
Now,
what a night Joy had.
I understand for a long time that she has a major, major thing for Armand Assante.
Well, you know, yeah, you're right.
I mean, there are 3 men in this world who pretty much make her leap tall buildings in a single bound, right?
Armand, me,
Well,
I think, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask tonight.
Michael Crawford.
Oh, Michael Crawford, yeah, she likes him a lot.
I can't think of the 3rd one.
How about me?
Alec Baldwin, thank you.
Alec Baldwin. Gelman says Alec Baldwin. What is that?
He's right. It's Alec Baldwin.
Everybody's been discussing Joy's personal life. No, it was a lot of fun. It always is up there, and it's like a party. It's like New Year's Eve, you know.
There are only 8 tables, right?
There's only 8 tables, and Dean Martin is on the jukebox, you know, and it's just a lot of. It's a wonderful night, and Sonny was a perfect host. And one of the toughest judges in New York City, Ed Torres, was also at our table as well, and our doctor, Dr. Bora.
Jeffrey Bora.
Jeffrey Bora was there with his lovely
Yours
wife.
and Frank's doctor.
Yeah, absolutely, and Sonny Grasso's doctor, too. So it's nice to have dinner with your doctor. I watch what he eats, he watches what I eat. So much tension at that table, I almost had a heart attack.
Now that brings up another subject.
What?
I'm a little nervous this week. Friday, you and I.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going down. It's been finalized. We got our script last night, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going down to shoot one of those commercials that I joined Kathy in one of them for
Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, on a Carnival Cruise.
Yeah, but that didn't happen on the ship. I mean, that was happening before the ship. I was going to Gelman saying, I'm feeling pains. Gelman was saying, well, the way I see, you know, Gelman thinks he knows everything. It's probably minor strain from Radu's doing those flies, you know. So there I was nursing this heart attack, not a heart attack, but a blocked artery, and it really manifested itself on the cruise with us.
That's right. So I'm a little nervous.
So you're nervous this time, huh?
Yeah, you were a weird shade of gray that day, remember?
Yeah. Well, of course I had to get a helicopter that was taking off without the pilot. Remember that whole story?
Yes.
Remember that story? Yeah. I was late taking off. Her ship was en route. I had to meet up by 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Jamaica. And so I had to take a helicopter to get from the airport of Jamaica to where the ship was located.
Ocho Rios, right?
Ocho Rios, and the thing is...
And the news.
And the pilot says, do you mind, I've got to run into the hangar again. Well, the blades are going, and I'm wiped out from this trip. I'm exhausted. The sun is beating down through the plexiglass roof.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I say to myself, is this copter rising off the ground? Yeah. The guy's in the hangar. I couldn't believe it. And so, you know, more panic sets in. The thing is about to take off, the blades are going around. Anyway, finally we get down there, and I was gray. Yeah.
Oh,
and then that night, intense pains. And then the next night, more pains. And then I turned myself in. You got me. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But not anymore.
And Dr. Boris says you're clean as a whistle. Those arteries are...
Well, not exactly
right
clean as a whistle, but good enough to make this trip.
Well, you know what they said recently about the tests for shoot.
Don't do that, it hurts.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You know, you're an interesting man. Reg.
Excuse me. Did you see that? Did you see that? If I did that to her?
Well.
Excuse me, what's the difference? What's the difference?
There are 2 big differences.
Forget about it. The intent is there. You actually touched me in a nice way. But what were you going to say?
Well, the test for cholesterol, they're saying depending on what you had to eat and depending on the time of day. And
that's that little scratch test.
Whatever blood test you take for cholesterol, you're 50% wrong.
Well, absolutely. It varies so much, especially with me, that I've got my doubts about the results, but it is some kind of indication, I guess. You know.
But you're feeling good, feeling
strong, Don Parter.
And you're still doing your aerobic exercises because that's what you had to
Walking,
change for you.
Absolutely. That's made all the difference in the world. Is doing that treadmill over at Radu's. Yeah, absolutely.
Reg, I want you to live forever.
I'll bet you do.